Palmeiras and Chelsea had an agreement. The player had the medical scheduled on Monday, but then the deal collapsed because Chelsea wanted the player to go to the Under-20 World Cup with Brazil. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here, as always, to bring you all the latest on the transfer market, as always, to update you on all the latest. And today we have many points to touch. So let's jump into it together. Hey guys, today we can start with the news of the day. Important to mention that Everton extended the contract of Jordan Pickford until June 2027. Also important to mention that there is a new contract for Newcastle star Miguel Almiron until June 2026. These are two very important contract extensions in La Liga, but the biggest one is of course Bukayo Saka. This is not official yet, but it's agreed, it's done. Bukayo Saka will extend his contract with Arsenal until June 2028. Bukayo Saka said yes to the proposal. The negotiation was more than 1 year, was a very long one, but everything is done. Bukayo Saka only wanted to stay. He loves Arsenal, he loves the project. He had some possibilities with many top clubs around Europe exploring this deal, but for Bukayo Saka was only Arsenal. Also, he has a special relationship with Mikel Arteta, with the director Edu Gaspar, so what they built is something really appreciated from the player, and this is why Bukayo Saka is staying. It will be done and signed very soon. Also discussing about free agents, Kamada from Eintracht Frankfurt, really one step away from joining Borussia Dortmund on a free transfer. So really important to say that many things are happening on the market, even if it's February. And also important to say about a deal collapsed for Chelsea. Is a deal for Andre Santos, the Brazilian midfielder who was almost a new Palmeiras player on a loan deal from Chelsea, as he can't have the work permit in England at the moment, of course, just for now. But what happened is that Palmeiras and Chelsea had an agreement. The player had the medical scheduled on Monday, but then the deal collapsed because Chelsea wanted the player to go to the Under-20 World Cup with Brazil. Palmeiras wanted the player to stay with the squad in that important moment of the season for Palmeiras, and so the deal has now collapsed. Chelsea, with the agents of the player, will try to find other solutions around the world for Andre Santos, with Brazilian clubs keen, of course, on this possibility on loan, but also other clubs who want the player for the next season. So maybe also Portuguese clubs really interested in Andre Santos. It's an open situation. For Manchester United, is important to mention about players they are following. We know they always send their scouts to keep an eye on players, to make sure they are the right players for their project, and they sent their scouts for many players in this period. We can mention Victor Osimhen, because Manchester United scouts were keeping an eye on the player in the Champions League game with Frankfurt and also in some Serie A games. So Manchester United are following the progress of this boy to understand if he's worth the money that Napoli will ask in the future for Osimhen if they want to sell the player. We will see at the end of the season. Also, Man United keep following a right back, and this Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen. He's doing very well. We know also Chelsea appreciate the player. In the summer, he could have the possibility to move, but Manchester United are keeping an eye on him. Let me clarify, for the right back situation at Man United, the priority is to extend the contract of Diogo Dalot, and then all the rest. But for sure, Jeremy Frimpong is a player they are monitoring. Let me clarify, they are just following this player. It doesn't mean that these players will become Manchester United players, but it's normal for top clubs to follow players around Europe to make sure they are right players, or maybe not. And also, they are following Gonçalo Ramos from Benfica. Many clubs appreciate this player. He did well, especially with a hat-trick in the World Cup with Portugal. And Paris Saint-Germain, for example, are really appreciating the player. He's one of the players they're following. They also wanted the player last summer, but Man United have sent their scouts also for Gonçalo Ramos. He's a player they are tracking. Of course, Osimhen, Gonçalo Ramos, they want a new center striker in the summer, and they are keeping an eye on many players. For Ramos, they sent their scouts in Portuguese league games to monitor this player. And also it's important to mention that there is a release clause into the contract of Gonçalo Ramos with Benfica. It's 120 million, so it's one to watch for sure, Gonçalo Ramos. Let's see if it will be Man United, English clubs, or any other club, but they are keeping an eye on the player, and then in the next months they will decide who is the right target for Erik ten Hag. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these movements for Man United, for Chelsea deal collapsed, but also Kamada, Bukayo Saka, many things happening. I wait for your opinion here in the comments. Like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon with Fabrizio. Ciao.